Hello all, we're back with the Jimny, and this time it's 5 things I love about the car. It's hardly a car, is it? It's more like a baby off-roader. Baby off-roader, but with all the capabilities a big off-roader. Very, very formidable off-road, but you'll see that in the challenge. So let's get started. I think the first thing that I really love about it is the fact it is so different to the earlier generations. The earlier one, as you'll see from the comparison video, which I'll put a link on this is completely separate. On the earlier one, it's actually built into the bonnet. It's also got different shaped lights, and this one looks far cooler, and it works very well with black plastic rather than colour coding. So that's number one. Number two, the overall shape. They've got rid of basically anything rounded and just put angles everywhere, and it works so well. It looks like a Mark 1 Land Cruiser or an early what? What am I trying to say? Jeep, I think. And obviously, it certainly looks like a G-Wagon as well. Number three, the two-tone on this one. The brisk blue with the black. The roof, the mirrors. It just contrasts so well, especially with that like gunmetal grey on the wheels. Now if I open it up, oh, it's locked itself again. As you can see, the gimbal is going a bit crazy today, and I have no clue why. It keeps flicking for some reason. Also, we're starting to do a little bit of merchandise just to see if anybody's interested. So we've got a PA hat there, and if I can, I'm sure that's probably got a bit of the hat on there. So yeah, number four, this beauty, the low ratio gearbox. Very, very formidable, especially off-road. Copes with everything you throw at it. You combine that with the descent control and it's perfect. So that's number four. We're getting through these a bit quicker than I thought. Might just have to have a roundup after. Now number five, I think it's got to be the overall look of this dashboard. It's completely different to the earlier generation. It looks, well, it reminds me more of an early Daihatsu, something like a 4-track, and it really suits it. It gives it an off-road feel. You won't find hardly, well, I don't think you'll find any soft plastics in this car. Everything's pretty much solid, but it's robust, and it's built that way for a specific reason. It's comfortable, and surprisingly I can sit in the back and the front with the seat set for me, which is quite phenomenal for something this size. It weighs just over 1.1 tons, 1.5 petrol. The earlier ones were 1.3, and the earliest one was 600cc and 2-stroke. Now there's something for JDM knowledge. Yeah, the overall style of in here is just, it's like retro 4x4. And you've got this big handle as well, which is perfect. It is very minimalist in here, but saying that, you've got some of the tech features as well. Like this. Digital air conditioning, electric windows, one touch, your descent control down here. You can disable your traction control as well. Infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And it's even got cruise control and a little fuel computer through there. Overall, very, very impressed, and especially the fact is that it starts at about £15,300. This one's about 17,800, but it's got lots of more features on it as well. Things like the dual paint. I've really loved having this. Okay, it's not the most perfect thing on the road, especially in high winds, but that's not what it's built for. It's very good for getting to where you want to go. For example, when we went to Grindsdale, we took it on dual carriageways, happily plodded along at 70 miles an hour, which is very good for a ride height like this. It's one of those that we're not going to forget. It's just, we also were talking about it, Michael and I, yesterday, and we think this is definitely going to be a future classic. It's got lines that people love. We took it to a classic car show yesterday up near the Lakeland Motor Museum, and Hubnut was there, and we attended his social. But that's not the interesting thing about this. We turned up at the gates and it was a classic car show for whatever, 80s, 90s, earlier and so on. And they said, we love these, bring it in. And it got as much attention as some of the classics, which shows you where this is going to be in a few years. It is. It's amazing. It's lovable. And especially with that low whiny gearbox, it's endearing. It reminds you of old school 4x4, and that's where this really, really excels. So there you go. That's the 5 things I love, and maybe about 10 other different things as well. But yeah, it goes back tomorrow, and we're gonna really miss it. Thanks, guys.